Welcome to the Daughter Dearest podcast with Simone and Olivia Canego, making the world a better place one conversation at a time. Mom Simone and daughter Olivia share authentic discussions about everything under the sun, including those things you might be thinking about but feel uncomfortable talking about. Thanks for tuning in. Now here are your hosts, Simone and Olivia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the Daughter Dearest podcast. I'm Simone Canego.
I'm Olivia Canego.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about Halloween. Why? Because it's fun.
It's Halloween tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, I know that it's Halloween, but I'm saying, why are we doing a
Okay.
podcast episode about it? Because it's fun and the world is like not a fun place right now. So we thought we'd talk about Halloween and some really funny stories from Halloween, ridiculousness, and yeah, it's a good holiday, right?
Halloween
I mean,
costume?
what am I going to be?
Dressing up?
No, I'm not dressing up.
When's the last time you dressed up?
I want to say like, oh yeah, it's been a while, maybe 5,
Wow.
6 years ago.
Wow. Where's
Well,
your holiday?
Pre-COVID.
I guess that's fair. COVID like messed everything up. Wait, no, I wear a Halloween costume every single year. So
Yeah, you do, but there weren't Halloween parties. I haven't been to a Halloween party in a while, so
yeah, well, all of your friends have grown kids now.
I know. So
they don't need to do them.
yeah, but still, people do it anyways. Like adults just have Halloween parties as an excuse to
Yeah,
have a
and
party.
I would do the same. I'm just wondering why you're not participating because I love costumes.
Well, I know you do. You have like 3 different fits for one holiday.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow I'm reusing. I didn't even buy anything for tomorrow. And actually, no, I'm not gonna admit to fraud online publicly. But tomorrow I'm just being Winnie the Pooh because I have a big Disney t-shirt that's red and Winnie the Pooh ears.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I have them
I like
because
that.
they're Disney ears. So because Disney
Okay.
sells Pooh ones. So
Well, but didn't you already dress up twice for this weekend?
yeah, because it's Halloween weekend. It's my last Halloween. Well, probably not.
Your
This is
last
my
Halloween.
undergraduate Halloween.
There we go.
And yeah, I was Betty Boop one night and I was Chef's Kiss the other night. And it was fun, but like, I hate to say it, I am just too old for going out. Well, you know what? I'm not too old for it. I just like, it's not my scene.
Yeah.
I like
I
to
get it.
be like a more like intimate place. Like I like parties and I like socializing, but I like being able to like talk to people.
Do you see when you're going, I'm assuming you went on a subway. Did you see
Yeah, we
people
go.
all dressed up, which is,
So that is the funniest thing about New York. It's playing the game of is that their regular outfit or are they
or
dressed
they
up?
dressed up?
Halloween?
That's
And
funny.
so one of these creators that I follow, she posted her Halloween costume and she's like a dirty martini. That could have been an outfit that I would wear. It was
That's so
just
funny.
a dress printed with a dirty martini and a dirty martini wallet.
Yeah.
I was like, I would wear that out. And yeah, but like that's the interesting part about New York for sure is it a costume or is it not?
Yeah, there was an article on CNN today about a photographer that photographs people in the subway on Halloween and all the cool, like really cool costumes that
Yeah.
they've seen. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. I used to put in effort. Well, I put in effort to you guys' costumes,
Yeah.
like at certain points in time. Remember that one year you were Medusa,
Yeah. And we put all
Like a-
those.
plastic snakes all
Plastic
throughout your hair.
hair.
Yeah. Yeah, we cut it all out. And I think that one was a cool costume. I like that one.
I might do that again. Repeat.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were little, so it's not like anybody would remember that you
Yeah, I know.
were
And
Medusa
I
before.
put snakes in my hair again.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think my hair is always a thing on Halloween. For the last couple of years, I just like dye it to fit my costume. Because I think it's fun. I don't know. Life is short.
But you've never bleached it like,
Well, no, I bleached my bangs last year and then you yelled at me.
oh, that's right. I did. Yeah, well,
Yeah. And then I dyed it back. Oh, well.
Yeah. because they look they looked fine for a Halloween costume, but
You know, I liked my costumes this year. I like Betty Boop, but I feel like I could have gone harder. I love doing makeup. And neither of my costumes this year required like elaborate makeup. So I think that's why I felt I didn't go as hard, I
Mhm.
guess.
well, maybe because you're tired because it's your last year of college.
Yeah, I'm lazy. Doesn't matter. Like, I think Halloween was awesome back in the day because, yeah, going out and getting the candy part is fun, but like the going out and getting it, I think is honestly more fun. I mean, I'm not going to say no to the candy while eating it, but now that I'm an adult, you can't go trick or treating.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, right? Like you go to someone's house and they give you candy, and like certain people actually like bake goods for people. Like you can't eat those.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
don't.
feel bad because like these older people, like most of them are probably really good humans, and they're really spending time on baking cakes or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and
But
you just
like, no, I would never let you guys eat anything that someone
no.
else made. I mean, it had to be
Yeah,
completely sealed, right? I
yeah,
mean,
that's just like a generational difference for sure.
although you say that, but I remember when I was little, so my parents were, well, only my mom at the time was a radiologist, and when we got Halloween candy, she would literally take it in to X-ray it to make sure nobody stuck pins in it or anything like
Yeah, so
that.
when did that start? Like the
I
idea of people putting razor blades and like pills and pins into kids' candy.
Well, I think there was an incident that something that happened. And so after that, like everybody was kind of crazy about making sure that the packages were everything was closed items and why she would extra. I mean, obviously you could see the stuff in there. So if there's a pin or a razor
I
blade,
mean, like, why
there
not?
never was. There never was. We were fine. But yeah, when I was little, going trick-or-treating was like a big deal because you didn't just have candy. Like there wasn't Target to just get these gigantic bags of candy, right? We would go when we were little, we would go up to the corner store and buy like a piece of candy, like one piece of candy. We had our quarter or
Yeah.
whatever. And, so trick or treating was like a big deal and rationing it so that you would have it for a long period of time. I don't think kids are so interested in like it's more of like the challenge of getting
Yeah,
it, which
I
is
think
what
it's
you
the
said.
challenge. I also think a lot of it is like with the big bags of candy, some of them are just bad options. There's a lot of bad options in candy these days. And maybe that's just my personal opinion. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Do you like coconut?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of
Never ate
candy with
any of the
coconut in
Whoppers.
it.
No.
Well, I like Whoppers.
I don't really like I like peanut butter, but I don't like peanuts, like the nut itself. Well, it depends, but in candy, I don't like it.
I love peanut
So I don't really
M&Ms.
like Snickers. I don't really like peanut M&Ms.
I don't like Snickers, but I do
Um,
love
I
peanut
don't really like
M&Ms is like my
Hershey
top.
bars. I mean, I'll eat them. The thing with any of these things that I'm saying that I don't like, I'll still eat them. Like, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm
Yeah,
not gonna eat coconut though. I will not go near an almond joy. I think that's weird. Um,
I like it.
do you remember making us ship away our candy to people in the military as kids?
Yeah, so the schools each year would collect candy afterwards, and so we would get rid of most of it. Honestly,
It's
if
a
we
good
didn't
thing
get rid of it,
though.
it is a really good thing, but it would also
Sometimes
just sit there.
it would last for like the next Halloween. There would still be candy.
Yeah, because it again, that's why I
You
felt
can't
like it was
think of
more of
it.
the challenge of
No,
like,
it is.
okay,
And
and
it's
then
I
you
think
eat the good stuff and then you leave the
why
other stuff behind.
yeah, and it like with the candy, why I love Halloween so much, it's like the start of the holiday season. The holiday season is my favorite time of year.
Hmm.
But then it's the holiday season. You don't need pounds of candy. You got
Yeah,
Thanksgiving coming up, and Lord knows someone's going to bring over 5 different pies, probably
right.
me. And then it's my birthday. Not that that's a national holiday for everybody, but it is for me. So then you have cake, and then I don't just celebrate like I'm not just gonna have one cake on my birthday. It's gonna be multiple cakes, and then it's like Christmas, and then it's New Year's, and it's just like the whole holiday season is about eating poorly. When you have pounds of candy, it's just a bad way to kick it off.
It's about eating poorly. That's pretty funny. Never heard it described that like that.
I
But yeah,
mean,
you threw all
yeah,
the rules aside, right? You're like, oh,
yeah, because it's a
I can
holiday.
eat it all. I
The
can eat it
problem
all.
is it's holiday after holiday after holiday.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so I think obviously the donating the candy is a great thing because again, you guys never ate all of it anyway, so it didn't really matter. And I think that also it kind of taught you, and you still remember it, right? Like
Oh,
it's
I
something
remember it.
that's ingrained, right? Like, oh, I gave away. Were you angry?
No,
Yeah, I think some
I
kids were
just didn't
angry.
get
They were like, I
like
remember kids
what? Who?
crying
Oh
at
yeah,
the school when people would their parents would be like, now put your
yeah. But
candy
in
in
the
that
end of the
bin.
day, next week, if I was like, oh, I really want a piece of candy, I would ask you guys and someone would probably find something to give me.
Right, exactly. So
Like it wasn't
yeah,
life
it's
or death.
different.
And yeah, it is just different. But I do remember like there were certain things that I would never give up. When we used to go to Siesta Cove, which is a neighborhood that we had friends live in, there was always like a couple of houses that were like had signature candies that they give out. So one house would always give out the wax lips or the wax bottles. One house would always give out the Maxi Pixie sticks. And you're not the kind of person that would let us ever have Pixie sticks because I mean, granted, it is literally just flavored sugar. Like I don't know how that's allowed to be a candy. But so like those ones you'd always have to get back. We'd always have to finish them before we got back to the house. And then there was always like one place that did like popcorn.
Yeah. They had really cool stuff in that neighborhood, but
Yeah.
some of our best Halloweens, I think. Well, those are some of our best Halloweens, but
like,
the other place was Laurel Oak. So
yeah,
this neighborhood, it's a big neighborhood and the houses are pretty spread out. So
like,
people,
it's a country club, so it's like safe for kids to walk around in. I think that's a big deal nowadays too, is like finding, I don't know how people do it here. I don't know if they let their, oh, sorry.
Stop moving around so much. You're like turning everything off.
That wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't let my kids walk around there, but like in the gated community, like one of us, either like when I was old enough, I would drive the kids around in the golf cart. When Jacob was old enough, he would drive us around in the golf cart, or one of you guys would.
Yeah, we always had friends that lived in this neighborhood, and so they invited us over. And so you would literally drive from house to house, and some people would create like a wagon kind of thing where they would pull a hay, what is it called? A hay wagon behind a truck.
Everyone had different ways of doing it.
And in this neighborhood, let me tell you, the candy most places gave out full size candy. Now that
was the best.
Yeah.
And there were different streets that had different things every single year. Like I remember the street right near the press buns when you go up and then turn to the left, that always had the yearly haunted house until they moved it to the clubhouse or the pool area. And then there was a house across the street from that, but that was always like football themed. So they always had like a tailgate going on. And then there was another one that was up a little bit and they always had a fish fry. Like
yeah, I remember the fish fry. And they would give adult beverages out too. And like it wasn't like going to rant, like even though we might not know these people, like it's a close community. So
someone
didn't worry about
one. It was always fun though. Like I will say, I hope I'm in it like when I have kids and like I want to do Halloween with my kids, but like you don't really want to go to strangers' houses like and knock on their doors. And quite honestly, you don't want to be sober around tons of children. Be real. Maybe you do. I don't. Not right now.
Well, not right now, but when you're an adult,
yeah, maybe one of them is
caring for children, you kind of have to be.
Makes the Halloween more fun for everybody. So it's not like you're okay. By the time we're at the last house, you're done. You're like, oh, like that was a really great night. Not like, oh my God, do we have to go home now?
Yeah. Well, it was not really driving a golf cart is so nice because it's a huge neighborhood and you're like exhausted by the end. And the kids are complaining because it's too, when you're walking the neighborhoods, they're complaining because their feet hurt and they had to wear those. They had to wear the fancy shoes that matched their Cinderella costume. And of course, you knew they were going to hurt in 5 minutes and they refused to change them. Yeah, that's what we did.
The transition in middle school from like the pumpkin baskets or just like regular carrying things to pillowcases. And I don't know if this was like a world or like a US thing where everyone went into pillowcases, but I remember like the minute I hit middle school, it was like cool to have the pillowcase for Halloween and you would fill it full.
Well, that's the thing is that you could fit a lot more in a pillowcase than in one of the little, we used to have ones from Disney, like fabric pumpkins with
I know where it exactly is in the house, actually. It's on the left closet.
Yeah, we kept some of that stuff. So, but yeah, you could fill it with a lot more stuff. And once you're in middle school, you can carry that by yourself. You're not going to complain about it, which when you're little, everything is too heavy and the shoes hurt and the costume hurts and it's itchy. And
what age did you have us start trick-or-treating then? Like what was Jacob's first trick-or-treating Halloween?
Oh, Jacob was little. This was
in Texas?
Yeah, maybe he was 2.
Wow.
He was a cow.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, he dressed up. We dressed him as a cow. Someone let us borrow a costume and he was so cute. And he was scared to death, but he'd go up and he'd get his piece of candy. I can't remember. Did he eat them? Did he not? But it was just like the whole experience of that. Sorry to say I don't remember what your first costume was, but I just remember his was a cow because I was like, this is hilarious. Yeah, I don't know if you would remember either.
I can think of, which is like not my first costume. I know it's not. Is when our second cousins live in Vegas, and there's two older girls that are around me and Emma's age. And so one year, all of us kids, and this was just when it was the three older kids. We hadn't adopted it. How'd we have Noah? We might have had no. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We were all
I have to look back.
Gang, which is still like I probably done that costume like 4 or 5 times. No, 2 or 3 times now in my life.
Since you were then. Velma.
Yeah, I was Velma, and then a couple of years ago, I think I was Scooby for something. I don't remember.
Yeah, but you made a very convincing Velma. It was really funny. So they were taking pictures. So it was a bunch of families together, and they're taking pictures, and everybody was like, "Where's Olivia?" I'm like, "She's right there." No, she's not. She's not here. I'm like, "That's Olivia. She's Velma." They're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize."
I always go ham on my costumes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did dress you in that one, so. But yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was. I think they were always fun. Like I always enjoyed Halloween. Honestly, low key, Halloween got bad when I moved to college.
Why? Because you didn't get a golf cart? Oh, because you couldn't go trick or treating.
Not going trick or treating. Halloween parties in New York don't exist. You go to clubs, and like I just said, I don't really like doing that. I don't know. It's just like the element of fun was kind of taken out of it a little bit, and it became more of a stressful affair. And I still enjoy it. But
I was going to say, hello. I think you enjoyed it a little bit too much.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying I didn't, but I think that like I grew up with it being a family friendly holiday, and the fact that it's not a family friendly holiday in New York is kind of strange, I guess.
Well, you'll still be people trick or treating tomorrow in the city. Yeah. Or do they go to places?
I think well, I asked the family that I nanny for, and the older one is going to the Upper East Side. So I think some of the big buildings, and I think it started during COVID and they just kept doing it, will do like door to door trick or treating, like, the ones that are like 64 floors or something. They'll do something crazy like that.
Okay.
And then so tomorrow I'm actually going to hand out candy. One of my friends lives like upper West Side in the hundreds, and that's a big hot spot for giving out candy, but I have no clue what it's going to look like. So like her family owns the building that she lives in, but it's still an apartment building. So you can't really let people into the apartment building. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what it looks like here.
So I want to talk more about this, but before we do that, I want to go on to Freaky Florida. Because I got lost on time. I was so happy talking about Halloween. Okay, as always, Florida has something interesting, and it's not about animals this time. It's a miracle. Agitated man flashed gun at driver, not realizing it was Florida trooper, cops say. So the driver was arrested, and Florida state troopers located 5 different firearms during a search, officials say. The driver is charged with 3 counts, each of unlawful display of a weapon and aggravated assault with a weapon. So here's how it started. A suspected case of road rage took an unexpected turn when the victim proved to be a cool-headed state trooper, according to Florida Highway Patrol. It happened yesterday, just before 4 p.m. in the Lakeland area. And the trooper was off duty and with his family, Highway Patrol said in a news release. So this is just like north of Tampa. Caught in slow-moving traffic, a driver in a red Chevy pickup became agitated and began focusing his attention on the trooper, Highway Patrol said. As traffic cleared, the suspect drove alongside the trooper's vehicle, speeding up and slowing down, yelling and using hand gestures. The trooper ignored the suspect. However, the suspect slowed down again and displayed a compact-style firearm, eventually pointing the weapon at the trooper. The trooper, who was not identified, reported the encounter to Florida Highway Patrol, and a search was launched. Investigators say the vehicle was eventually found at the 32-year-old driver's home. He was arrested, and troopers located 5 different firearms. He is charged with 3 counts of unlawful display of a weapon and aggravated assault with a weapon. Seriously, like, what is wrong that You're okay. People are driving slow, so you're going to point a gun at somebody?
It's so funny. For how many years has dad been like, you can't get the road rage, you can't get mad at people. Someone's gonna pull a gun at you.
Yeah. Well, you got road rage.
Yeah, and every single time I did, he would be like, you can't, like someone's gonna like literally pull a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not. Again, like when you're driving somewhere, and I'm guilty of this, that when you're driving somewhere, you need to make sure you have the time to get there. Okay. You
Yep.
should give yourself extra time, right? And instead of like leaving late, which I'm going to be doing after the show to get Noah to the dentist, but leaving late and then rushing to get somewhere and then getting really frustrated at everyone around you because you left late, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
It's not
the
your
person's
fault.
fault, you know? I mean, you left late. So I
Expect
think
the
that,
unexpected.
yeah. And I mean, again, it's very trying times around the world right now and just having a little patience, but I just can't imagine. I mean, that the guy that he happened to point the gun at was an actual trooper, right? Like,
That is just, oh my God.
yeah,
Karma. One
yeah.
time, this is a quick car story. One time I was being slow getting onto the highway, and someone I actually know from my high school, he passed me on the right side, which you weren't allowed to do. And he drove into the lane. And the minute he did that, he got pulled over.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw it happen. I was
Karma.
like, yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, hold on. We're having drama with Noah.
Oh, you see, I put my on do not disturb.
Well, I did too, but it was coming up on my computer and I saw that he's like, "Did you not tell Millie that I had to be home before 4?" I was like, "Yes, I did. I called this morning and told her that you have a dentist
God,
appointment
it's
at 4 o'clock."
almost 4.
No, it's
Okay.
3:20. It's
I know,
3:20.
but the fact that it's 3:20 and not 11 is crazy to me.
Oh, why? Because you're so tired already? Or are you talking about
No.
11 in the morning?
Yeah, 11 in the morning because it's like, what have I done today? Crochet, clean
Oh
my
my
room.
gosh. Yes, you did. You did crochet. Okay. So, anyways, I got distracted off of our Florida crazy,
Yeah,
but
back
you
to Hall.
know, let's go back to Halloween because people need to have some patience.
That like to tie it in a little bit. Do you think like as a parent, obviously I'm not there yet. Do you or did you get like a sense of worry going out for Halloween, especially when we got to the age where we would be like, no, mom, it's not cool for
Mhm.
you to come with us?
You know what? The time I've been most worried is when you guys are at college, right? Because
Understandable.
it's not about candy. It's now about
Oh,
parties, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that to me is and that to me is the most stressful because then you think that like, okay, this is a once in a lifetime party, or this only happens once a year, so I'm just gonna drink everything in sight. And they make really cool spooky Halloween punch, and it never ends well,
No, it
right?
doesn't. I can tell you that
Yes, it
it's
doesn't
fine.
end well.
Like I feel like it's fine. Like Halloween for me, my favorite aspect is the dressing up.
Yes. And I wish we lived in a place where like we live in a single street, so we don't get a lot of kids here. So I
Yeah.
I literally just put like a bowl of candy out there and say, take as much as you want. But I like the places where the kids still come house to house and ring the doorbell and you see all the cute little costumes, and
I cannot wait for that.
you're gonna enjoy that when you
Oh my
see
God. Yeah,
your
tomorrow.
kid.
And then I don't know what it's going to be like in New York, but like getting and living in an actual neighborhood eventually, I think that'll
Mm,
be awesome.
yeah. Now, your aunt, my sister,
Oh, she
is
loves
the
Halloween.
queen of Halloween.
Yes.
She loves everything about Halloween. So she lives in Switzerland,
I think this is
and
a really interesting story. Like someone in an anthropologist from years from now could do like a research study on this. Like I think it's fascinating.
yeah, she so loves Halloween. Like she decorates her house. She and like a month ahead of time she decorates her house, not just like the week before, like at least a month ahead of time. Maybe it was actually up in September. No, this is October. No, I think the beginning of September she put it up. So at least
Oh
maybe a
wow.
month and a half. Because whenever your brother went to visit, her decorations were already up.
Okay.
They have like a whole village, almost like a Christmas village, but it's a Halloween village. Like all the setups of the little different houses
Yeah.
and stuff. Some of them play music. She has all kinds of candles in the house that are all Halloween. All of her soaps in the house at Halloween time are Halloween soaps. She just absolutely loves it. And when she moved to Switzerland, so she's been there 20 something years now, it was not a big thing there, if at all. So the village
wasn't a thing, period.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was everywhere in Switzerland, but in the village she was in, they did not celebrate Halloween. And so I want to say I credit her for bringing Halloween to that area, because she taught people about trick-or-treating. She always had a Halloween party and would invite all the kids' friends. And, the parents had to get used to the other parents had to get used to the idea of getting their kids to dress up, because that was like totally not something that they would do. And yeah, she has embraced it like full out. Like,
I love it though.
Her costumes are crazy. She
I didn't see them this year.
Well, it's not time yet.
It's not Halloween yet. Yeah. I keep forgetting it hasn't passed.
Yeah, because they always do it on the day. They do it on the day. But she usually has some kind of spooky costume, and usually has contact lenses in it, like different contact lenses for it. And like she is like full in to Halloween. And her kids are now too, because this is how they grew up, right? That everything was Halloween. Her favorite ride at Disney World is the Haunted Mansion. She'll look ahead of time or right after Halloween. She's like, okay, can you go shopping for these things for me? Because like obviously right after Halloween, everything's on sale. So I'll go and
you know what? I don't know. Just quick side quest. We went to TJ Maxx on Thursday of last week. They were like, yeah, we already took all the Halloween stuff down.
Why?
Because it's no longer like the seasons within capitalism move a lot faster than the seasons actually do.
Well, usually there's like one aisle left of stuff, and then that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's very interesting to see how much she embraces it, and what she almost bases her whole year around it. That and mushroom hunting.
Yeah, I kind of love that though. Very quirk.
I saw something on Facebook. It was a recipe for and it was using mushrooms, but you cut the mushrooms into these little skulls. So I sent it to her. I was
People
like, okay,
are so creative nowadays,
right?
So creative.
Yeah, I'm like, just cleaning mushrooms is enough for me.
Growing up, we did one Halloween party, and I always wondered why we never did another one after that. But now as someone like that has to host even like small get-togethers, I get it. You spend so much money, so much time putting together everything, so much time cleaning up.
We had a DJ. Yeah, the one Halloween party we did, we had a DJ. It was really fun. Like it was really a lot of fun.
But I get why you don't host consistent parties.
Yeah. And I made all kinds of food that were all Halloween, like that looked like Halloween, like weird kind of fingers and all kinds of funky.
I'm like going through every Halloween party that we ever went to growing up. There was someone who was down south, probably when I was younger, that they would put your hands in the boxes and there'd be like weird things inside.
Were you the one who peed their pants? One of you guys, because we went into the sorry,
Mom,
no. Huh?
Out of all of the siblings, I'm not going to pee my pants.
So she always did a haunted house, and they would like grab you. Like it's completely dark in there, and like there's people grabbing you, and then you can't get out the door. And I think one of you guys, it could have been a friend's kid. Again,
no, it was probably one of us. I mean, like chances are probably one of us peed our pants.
Yeah, and then we had to go home. It's like, oh, but they did Halloween right. They were like, it was always a really cool party, and always made that big haunted house and it was kind of terrifying. I went in it before, and I was like, I don't want, like, who knows, like who's grabbing me? Like it's kind of spooky.
When I get like rich and famous, I want to have a Heidi Klum level Halloween party.
I don't know what she does for her Halloween parties.
Well, no, what are you talking about? Lester should literally dress up as a worm, Mom. Like a realistic worm. That's crazy.
Okay, I don't know this.
No, Heidi Klum has hosted Halloween parties for years. This is like her thing. She has annual Halloween parties. Costumes are required, and extravagant costumes are required because everyone's a celebrity, so they can like afford it. And that's what I want, like that kind of crazy vibe.
Do you remember the crazy party that dad went to? Your dad went to?
The one in Vegas? That was Halloween?
The the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. Wait, that wasn't in Vegas?
I don't know where the Playboy Mansion is.
But I
Sorry,
was
Playboy
okay,
Mansion.
yeah.
Yeah. No, he went to the for a Halloween party at the Playboy
I feel like
Mansion.
he should bring that up more in life. That's really a clout factor that he is like not capitalizing on.
Yeah, that he was invited to go to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Halloween party at the Playboy Mansion. That's dope.
he dressed as a not
A
a
pre
priest.
a
Like
pimp?
no,
No.
he dressed as a oh, let's talk about that too. He dressed as a but it wasn't a priest. It was some other religious.
Father, whatever. One of
Yeah.
the monks.
Yes. Yeah. So um it was pretty funny actually too. And a lot of the um women at this party, their costumes were painted on. So they were just had body paint. They didn't, I mean, it looked like a costume,
Yeah,
other
of
than the fact
course.
that it wasn't flowing, but it was just
It probably saves you a bit of
body paint.
money. Saves the environment.
Oh, maybe saves, I don't know, paint and then you wash it down the drain. I don't know.
You're right.
But
I don't know. Maybe it balances out, like
yeah,
affects. You're
but
right.
I think it would, I mean, imagine the amount of time it takes to make, use body paint to get a whole costume on. Like that's crazy.
I feel like I watched some show one time that was about that
Yeah.
body. I don't know.
Your dad and I went to a party once
It's my favorite
and
Halloween costume of you guys is.
yeah, he dressed as a pimp and I dressed as his hooker, I guess. I don't know
Yeah.
what I was, but
I mean, yeah, that was
yeah, that was pretty much it, huh? Yeah.
that. Do you think your like favorite Halloween costume? What was your favorite Halloween costume?
It was a pretty funny Halloween costume. I mean, my favorite of myself, I was probably the one where I was dressed as a vampire one year because
Oh yeah, your fangs were
I
killer.
did. Yeah, I bought like the special kind of fangs, not the plastic things, but the kind that you literally stick over your teeth and they almost get like glued on.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But my favorite of your dad was the pimp costume because
So funny.
it was like purple. I don't even remember, red, purple.
Deeper red.
It was hilarious. Like he had a hat that went with it and glasses and these platform kind of shoes. So that was probably the funniest part was these shoes were so thick that he was like, he's already 6'5".
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like 7 feet tall now.
Yeah.
But he looked good. It was funny. It was funny.
So for my keeping up to the country today, I wanted to tell you what TSA's official message about Halloween was, because of course TSA had to put out an official message about what was allowed on planes during Halloween.
That's probably important.
It definitely is, but like what?
Hmm.
I would never even think about that. So TSA obviously has no pranking security practices. Costume passengers need to keep in mind TSA is still haunting down any prohibited item.
That's fine.
And you're allowed to dress in costume. But like obviously rules. Here are tips from TSA for all the goblins, vampires, ghosts, and witches traveling through security checkpoints this Halloween. When traveling with homebrewed potions and lotions, remember TSA's magic 311 rule. And this includes fake blood. They like literally say it. A costume prop is eerie. Oh, I was like, what? Irresistible. That's actually like
eerie.
Yeah,
Irresistible. Okay, got it.
Fake or real knives, hatchets, pitchforks, lightsabers, brooms, swords, and skiffs must be placed in checked baggage. Obviously, never pack any explosive replicas, including bombs or rocket launchers. Have a sweet tooth. All candy is allowed, but it's like good practice to remove any large bags of candy from a carry-on bag. That's weird. Okay. If your Halloween garb includes a mask, it's best not to wear it through security. Passengers wearing masks at checkpoint will be asked to remove it. A painted face in homage to it is perfect for nighttime terror, but TSA prefers travelers to not fully paint their faces when traveling through checkpoints. Superhero without a cape often spells disaster, but when passing through security, please place capes in a carry-on bag or bin until the screening process is complete. Juggling a jack-o'-lantern through security is allowed, although not advised. So whether your pumpkin is decorated or carved, feel free to bring it in a carry-on bag. I don't know why that is shocking to me that you're allowed to bring a pumpkin through security, but it's shocking to me. But pumpkin spice lattes and pumpkin spice butter that are liquid, creamy, or spreadable must be in 3.5-ounce containers or less. And then they shared a list of scary sightings, which I'm not going to hold up my phone and show you. One of them was a batarang.
What is that?
It looks like a boomerang,
Okay.
but it's in the shape of a bat, and the edges are knives. And this was taken from a carry-on bag at Buffalo Niagara International Airport. Two Sai swords, which are from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they were removed from an airport in Baltimore. An actual axe was removed from a carry-on bag at Newark Liberty Airport, and then a replica gun was removed from another tri-state airport, and a replica grenade. Oh, and this one was funny. A fake bullet-lined belt was not permitted through security.
A fake bullet-lined belt.
Why, like, you would think, like, oh, it's Halloween, like, I can get a gun through a fake gun. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Well, here's the funny part is that they have to spell this out because people have tried this, right? I mean,
yeah.
The reason they have to say all of these little things, it doesn't matter that's Halloween, you still can't bring your latte through. Even if it's pumpkin spice, it's still not allowed. Like, it's kind of funny, though, that they have to be really.
Like, you have to take your cape off. It will set alarms off. Take it off. It's ridiculous, but I love it. But it's ridiculous.
I think it'd be interesting I've never flown on Halloween.
Yeah, I've never traveled on Halloween.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the airports are like. And
I mean, I'm sure if I had young kids, like, and we were traveling, I'd probably let them dress up if they wanted to, because it's like, oh, it's still Halloween, like, you get to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But who else would want to dress up?
I mean, probably, I would imagine some of the employees dress up, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like, I mean, if they're allowed to, I feel like flight attendants would love that.
Yeah, I was just going through last week when I was coming back to the Tampa airport, one of the Southwest desks was all decorated for Halloween. It had a massive spider on it and spider webs like all the way from the ceiling to the desk. I was like, okay, that's some spirit. They got that going on.
Yeah, I think it's just like the element of fun around Halloween is why like so many people participate. Like, I don't know, it is just, I don't know, I think there's like a lot of other holidays besides maybe Christmas that you can go all out for. And even in New York, like you see, especially some of the brownstones that are more uptown covered in cobwebs, like all 3 floors, they put cobwebs on the outside of the building, or you'll see like the giant pumpkins outside. Like people love it. I love it too, though.
Do you think that people like to get dressed up because they get to be something that they're not? Do you think about it that way, or you think about it just like it's just fun to dress up? I mean, do you think some people look at it as like a way to
some people definitely
do something different, you know?
Yeah. And especially I can imagine being in like a high school situation where you're known as only this version of yourself, but on Halloween you could put on a full face of makeup and be not you at all.
Right.
Like that opportunity would be really freeing. But for me, I just love dressing up. I love themes, and I love sticking to themes, regardless if that's in like clothing or food.
Yeah.
Which are my 2 things that I feel like I focus on in life. So
that and crocheting.
Well, crochet, I feel like I can go under clothing.
Okay. True point.
Yeah. I can like notch it down a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah. I wonder though, like I think probably people do get to like be things that they want to be and not get made fun of, right? Like,
yeah, I also like
dress up in these costumes that maybe you would want to dress up in, but you couldn't just wear them to the grocery store.
I think that is honestly really nice, and I feel like we've gotten a lot better about like accepting people regardless of like their clothing choices or styles or the way they look. But I mean, on Halloween, you're not going to get a weird look for dressing in all black and having crazy goth makeup. But any other day of the week, some grandma in a grocery store is probably going to stop you.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So I think I don't know. I think it's just it really is just a fun holiday. And it's not really it's a holiday, but it's not really a holiday, right? Like, so
yeah,
it's just that you get to do something different.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of holidays in the US have become, though, or just a break from normal routine.
What was your favorite costume ever?
That's asking me to like remember a lot.
Ooh.
Ooh, I really liked when I did white trash. I still think that's funny. I wore a trash bag in the shape of a dress for Halloween one year.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that one. That was a good one.
oh, you know what? My favorite costume, I was Jesus when I was a
Oh,
sophomore,
you were
and
really
my
good,
friend
Jesus.
was Mother Mary, and I still think that was a sleigh costume. It was so funny. Everyone laughed at us, and that's what I'm looking for.
Your sister sent me a picture of that or showed me a picture of that recently. I had forgotten about it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, she
Look at
really
Jesus.
did.
It
Yeah.
literally came from my friend and I were sitting in my room, and we were talking about Halloween. Or actually, I don't even think we were talking about Halloween. I was like, yeah, with my hair length, I feel like I'm giving Jesus right now. And then we just ran with that.
Yeah. It worked
And I still
well.
have the costume.
Yeah.
So, but,
Yeah. You can reuse that for sure.
actually, I can reuse it because they do, what is it called? A Christmas like bar hop every year. Or no, it's like something
Yeah.
Santa, Santa Claus?
Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a bar crawl essentially, except and if you wear like a Santa costume, you get money off your drinks. If you wear a Jesus costume, you also get money off your drinks.
Oh, there you go.
um,
You haven't worn it yet?
I
I'm
haven't actually done
shocked.
any of the years of
Yeah.
SantaCon.
We were gonna go one year, but then we just went and had dinner and watched everybody else get wasted and
No, I get that though. Yeah,
wearing costumes. So,
yeah.
uh, so what's your calendar tell us today?
Oh, I flipped ahead on accident. So, but I have today still. The things you have in life, those goals you've set, dreams you've thought up. If you actually want to accomplish them, you have to do them alongside fear.
Hmm. And is tomorrow anything to do with Halloween?
No.
No. That would have been funny if there would have been a specific Halloween message in there.
You're gonna have to give me a new calendar for next year.
I know. It's actually been, it's so funny because people have bought me calendars like that in the past and I never use
I
them.
always use them. I got a Bob Ross one a couple of years ago. I went through it all the time. I kept like the final quote or something. I still think it's in my room at home.
Yeah, I think the motivational ones, like those ones are like fun to see what the message is going to be every day. Or obviously Bob Ross one, that too. Like it's fun to see what the messages are. So it's worth doing it. But for me, I just like the calendar on my phone now. Just makes my life so much easier.
Yeah, I use it for different things. Like this one is like a little
just for inspiration, right?
Yeah, it's part of my routine in the morning. It's the next day I rip it off.
Yeah. That's good. It's a good routine. Okay, well, I hope you have an amazing Halloween and
So,
to everybody out. I'm sorry?
Are you doing anything for actual Halloween?
No, we're just hanging out here. Your sister is going to a friend's house and your brother's going to a friend's house. So I just have to pick them up that night. Yeah. Yeah, Noah's going to a friend's house too. So I said, yeah. And I was like, what are you guys wearing costume wise? They're like, nothing. I'm like, okay, that's no fun.
What?
No, not that they're not going to be naked. I mean, they just are not dressing up.
Candy if you're not dressing up.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I don't know. Who knows what they're doing with it, but it could be a last minute decision that they decide to wear a costume. But in the meantime, they're both out. And so I'll be here giving away candy and hanging out. So I hope everyone has an amazing time with Halloween. If you choose to go trick or treating or go to a party or just stay home, whatever you do, enjoy it. And if you like what you're hearing on this podcast, we would love for you to like and share it with a friend. Share it with a friend. Even funny episodes like this that probably it's just something that we wanted to talk about. Again, next week, I think we'll get a little bit more serious again. But the last couple of weeks, we wanted to have like a little bit of fun just to kind of counterbalance how we're feeling about the world right now. So, but thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you next time on the Daughter Dearest podcast.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Daughter Dearest podcast with Simone and Olivia Canego. We hope this episode has made your day just a little bit brighter and given you the inspiration you need to confidently go about your week. Always remember to be authentically you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And feel free to connect with them on Instagram at Daughter Dearest Podcast, at Simone Canego, and at Olivia Canego. Till next time.